My name is Robin Evans and Stoke City is my passion. This is my story. I've always obviously been a passionate Stoke fan since I was younger, but also had like a very big craving for England as well. Obviously over the years you see all the England games, there's loads of flags behind the goal, but you see all these different clubs around the country, but I never really saw anything to do with Stoke. Obviously once we got to the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley, I think there was about a 3 or 4 week time frame between the quarter-final and the semi-finals. I really want something for that game. It might just be a one-off and that might just be it forever. So I'd always wanted to get a flag with Stoke on, so that was almost kind of like the tipping point for me. So that was the excuse to go ahead and get one. Not just as well as following Stoke and obviously England with football, I've followed cricket as well. I went to South Africa a couple of years ago, tried to get, obviously always try and rush in and get the flag in a prime position so you can see it on TV. And just before the end of the day's play, you could see someone tampering with it on the other side of the ground. So I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. I wasn't sure obviously if it was tied to something else's. It was after quite a few beers as well, so I didn't quite get a good look at it, but it was enough to start to worry and want to get round to the other side. But sadly, by the time I got round to the other side, it had gone. It could be absolutely anywhere now. I've got absolutely no idea. It was, I think it was about 350 quid altogether. The actual flag itself isn't too bad. It's just when you're trying to get the big emblems of both obviously the old Stoke badge and England as well, that's where it really knocks the price up. Obviously it sounds expensive, but for the actual quality of the stitching that a company called Barmy Flags do, it's second to none really. The quality is absolutely superb. So it's everywhere where I've seen either Stoke or England play around the world. So the idea came to kind of do something which it's kind of almost like you see people who travel quite a lot have backpacks with flags on and whatever. So that was kind of my idea behind it. It's just one of those things as well. Life isn't always perfect. So on all those days where it can be down in the dumps, it's just nice to just look up sometimes and see all the it might only just be small flags, but it's quite a lot of memories in there, and it never, all the trips that you go on, it never fails to make you smile looking back. When you do go away with England and you've got this you recognise the same faces all the time who are rushing to get their flags up and stuff. So people will always come up to you and say, "Oh, are you such and such?" and whatever else. So it's been a good way to, it's a strange way, but a good way to make a lot of friends. And these are now really good friends to me that I feel like I've known my entire life. The World Cup just in Russia, it was quite good because you had to take a photo of your flag. You had to explain everything that was on it, so what the wording was, what the icons were, the size of it, any flammable certificate that there was on it. It was a bit of hassle really, but sometimes you go to places and they'll say, oh, your flag's too big, or this and this, or you can't do this, you can't do that. So actually to know you could get it in really easily was actually quite good. Whereas there has been quite a few times where oh, it's too big, or you can't take that in without actually being given a reason as to why. It just seems like sometimes in certain parts of the world they just like to be quite funny with you, rather than actually trying to accept. All you want to do is just be a football fan and show yourself off, so to speak, rather than cause any trouble. I think I'd have been in trouble if I didn't support Stoke, to be honest. Both my granddad and dad have obviously been big Stoke fans, so it's kind of run in the family for a very long time. Never ever in my wildest dreams thought Stoke could get promoted back to the top flight. Kind of felt a bit of a strange day against Leicester. Obviously there was no goal to celebrate. It was all possibly a little bit of an anti-climax, but obviously the thing about the whole day, and being on the pitch at the end, it just didn't seem real. Only Stoke in Europe was wonderful as well. Again, something that may never come around again. So really wanted to just make sure wherever we were, whatever happened, just had to find a way to get to each and every game.